Hello, this is Richard Jacobs from Speakeasy Marketing. Today I have an obvious insight that I think will be very helpful for you that I figured out. So what I figured out is, from my own experience and from talking to a lot of people that have used attorneys, is, no surprise, when someone gets in trouble, whether it's divorce, bankruptcy, criminal offense, estate planning because someone passed away, etc., their first instinct is not to hire a lawyer. That's actually the last thing that people want to do. Now, no offense to you, because to you it seems like the first thing you'd want to do. It's obvious, right? But if you think about it, even though it is obvious, that's the last thing that prospects want to do. So here's why this is relevant to you. So what I've realized over time is that what people will do is this. Something will happen, again, and they'll have a need for an attorney in the practice area that you work in, okay? What they'll do usually first is they'll have questions about their situation. So let's say their wife said to him, I've had it, I want a divorce, okay? Again, the first thing they'll do is not say, oh, I need a divorce lawyer, but they'll have questions about it. They may be afraid, oh my God, how am I going to see my kids? Or, what's going to happen to the house? Will she get it? I heard that the woman always gets custody, the woman always gets half, etc., that kind of thing. I have a business. What if the court makes me sell it and give her half and it destroys it? How am I going to make money? So what they'll do is they'll ask friends and family and all that. That's normal. But they'll also go to Google and they'll start Googling things. So let's say in the realm of divorce, again, they haven't decided that they want a lawyer yet, but they have questions. So they'll type in what I call question keywords. They also could be called long-tail keywords. They'll type in stuff to Google like, will my wife get custody of my kids in divorce? Or divorce laws in New York? Or, is there perpetual alimony in Wisconsin? Those kind of keywords, okay? At the point where they get the answers, or they don't get the answers, they get to a point, a lot of people do, where they say, all right, well, damn, I need a lawyer. I don't want one. I know they're expensive, or I feel like they're expensive, but I guess I got to have a lawyer, okay? At that point, they'll start Googling divorce lawyer Texas, or divorce lawyer California, or San Diego, or that kind of thing. All those keywords that you're trained to think that people will type in. They will type them in, but they'll only type them in after this decision process, okay? So now here's you. You want to be in front of these potential clients, and you want to get them to call you, okay? So what most attorneys do is they'll focus on these last keywords I talked about. Divorce lawyer Atlanta, best divorce attorney Houston, that kind of thing. If you show up for those keywords, that's great, but it's a very competitive landscape to try to show up for those keywords, and it's like a dogfight, If you're in personal injury, people spend crazy amounts of money to get on the first page for those keywords. If you're in DUI, criminal defense, estate planning, same thing. Everyone thinks, and rightfully so, their market is very competitive, and it is. But what if you could show up earlier on? What if you could show up for those question keywords that people type in? Well, now, what the potential to happen is, you show up in a vacuum. Other attorneys likely won't have articles that answer people's questions. They'll have generic articles that say why you need a lawyer for this, why you need a lawyer for that. So they're presupposing that the person has already decided they want a lawyer when they may not have. But if you show up for these question keywords, and there are thousands of them, but you can show up for them, you're going to show up in a competitive vacuum. You're going to show up early, and you're going to gain the appreciation of the person searching with questions. So what's going to happen? A lot of the searchers, you will step in front of them before they ever get to those competitive keywords where your competitors are. If you get them early, by showing up early for these question keywords, there's a much better likelihood that they'll call you because you gave them the answer, and they appreciate that, and they now see you as the attorney that's knowledgeable that gave them the answer, and they'll call you. And this is a strategy that I use with my clients to get them a lot of calls and clients. And it's kind of an under-the-radar strategy. It runs counter to a lot of what you've been told and a lot of, maybe what you've seen in Google. But it works. We have a lot of examples of clients of mine that get 3,000 or 4,000 searches a month from Google, and almost every one of those searches is a different question keyword, and very few of the searches are the vanity keywords, I call them, that everyone's competing for. And these guys are getting a lot of calls from it, so I know the system works. I found a way to express it better to you, and I hope this makes sense. So that's it today. That's today's lesson. If you got any more questions about question keywords, how to show up for thousands of them versus 10 or 20 of the vanity keywords, and will this strategy really work for your practice areas in your metro, I can answer those for you. Give us a call, speakeasymarketinginc.com. The number is 888-225-8594. Thank you and take care.